Okay, go and follow along as I read. We're working on the week 5 test taking skills. It says point R in the number line represents a fraction. So we have a point right here on this number line. Okay, on which number line does point S represent the fraction equivalent to one represented by point R? So which one is equivalent to point R? And I think it's helpful. A lot of times third graders struggle with number lines, so I always typically tell them to let's make a strip diagram out of it, because typically third graders do really good at interpreting strip diagrams. And I would go ahead and shade in the part up to the dot. And in this case, I can see that there's two parts shaded, so that'd be numerator of 2, and there's 3 total parts, so that's 2/3. So now in this case, all the number lines are lined up with each other. The top one is lined up with all of our anchoys in the bottom because all the zeros line up and all the ones line up. So typically I could just go straight down and I can see that the one on D lines up perfectly with it. Okay, but I also know if I double the amount of spaces on this one up here, so if I took and broke each one of these in half, that would give me 6 spaces total. And then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 there shaded. So that would be numerator 4, and there's 5, 6 total spaces. So I can say that 4/6 is equal to 2/3. And I'm going to double check this one to make sure it represents 4/6. So I'm going to make it in a strip diagram also. Okay, and if I shade in all the way to where the dot's at, I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts shaded out of 6 total parts. So I can see that D is equivalent to the point R, anchovy D. S is lined up, or is the same amount as the one where point R is marked. So D is our correct answer choice. Let's go ahead and look at problem number 2. Okay, this is a very similar problem. It says Martina and George ride their bicycles to the library every Monday in summer. They both live an equal distance from the library, so they live the same distance from the library. Martina shows her ride on the number line divided into fourths. Okay, George used the number line divided into sixths. Which fraction on George's number line is equivalent to 2/4 of a mile? So right here, I can see that George is 2/4 of a mile from the library, and I can see. So if my number lines are lined up exactly with each other. So really, all I'd have to do is go straight down. I can see that 3/6 is equal. Okay, but I also know that 2/4 is equivalent to a half, because my numerator is half my denominator. So I can say that 2/4 is equal to a half. Okay, and also 3/6 is equal to half, because 3 is half of 6, so that's equivalent to a half also. So H is my correct answer choice. Go and look at problem number 3. Okay, problem number 3 here. It says Nick shaded in 2/3 of the model as shown to show the amount of candy he had eaten. Which model shows another way to name 2/3? So basically, same thing we did on one of those other number lines. I could break this in half, and then I would end up having four parts shaded, and there's 6 total parts. So I can say that 2/3 is equal to 4/6. Because I didn't shade anymore, I didn't erase any of the part that's shaded. Still same amount shaded, I just broke it into more parts. So I can say that C is the same amount as 2/3. And let's look at question number 4. Question number 4 says Riley and Gabrielle ran equal distance in a race. Riley shows her distance on the number line divided into thirds. So you can see it's got 1, 2, 3 equal jumps. Okay, Gabrielle used the number line divided in sixths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal marks. Which fraction on Gabrielle's number line is equivalent to 2/3 of a kilometer? So my number lines are lined up directly with each other. So 2/3 right there. My zeros lined up, my ones are lined up. So if I went straight down, I can see that 4/6 is the same amount as 2/3. So 2/3 is equal to 4/6. And that would be answer choice J.